odyssey through Taiwan, well-traveled American entertainer Brook and I home in on the southernmost of Taiwan's three major cities, the port city of Kaohsiung. No matter where you go in this world, port cities don't usually have the best reputations. Combine that with the heavy industries, oil refining, fertilizer, and steelworks surrounding Kaohsiung, and you'd be forgiven for thinking Kaohsiung might not be the best place for a visit. But you'd be wrong. For decades, Kaohsiung was Taiwan's gate to the rest of the globe. In its heyday, it was the third busiest port in the world. Now, Kaohsiung is reinventing itself as a city of culture.
My favorite type of city is somewhere that has water. You know, you can be on the beach, or ideally you can have a river running through it. And so the Love River, I think, adds a lot of character to Kaohsiung. Most people think of it as the industrial city, as we've seen. But, you know, now with this Love River here, you even have the little lionfish thing that's kind of like Singapore.
Right,
you know, and
it's great. So I've heard that they've taken the old warehouses or the old industrial areas and are slowly turning them into like funky cafes and interesting studios and places with exhibits, and that's cool. Kaohsiung is a really surprising city because I have heard that it was an industrial city, and walking around and looking around and seeing different things, it's really quite open. It's a lot of open space, a lot of public art, a lot of water, and sort of a real welcoming sort of a city. I think it's really quite nice.
So where we are right here is where the Love River kind of intersects with the whole port.
Does this go directly out to the ocean?
Yeah, it goes straight out to the Taiwan Strait.
Okay.
And this part of the river is actually where my grandma used to say was a really, really stinky bayou. So if you were standing here, you wouldn't be able to walk around. You would be holding your nose. It was such a bad stench. But as you can tell, it's completely changed.
Yeah.
It feels nice. Like, it's a really, really nice part of the city. Anyways, so like I was saying, not only the city is changing, but the people are also changing. So I'm going to introduce you to an artist who's using materials that you find at a port to make his art. We can call him a metal artist extraordinaire.
Great.
Yeah, he's kind of an eclectic guy. You'll like him.
Great.
As Kaohsiung is the industrial city of Taiwan, I want to make sure Brook gets his hands dirty. Art pieces in Kaohsiung may not have the refined nature of art that we saw in Taichung or the international elegance that we find in Taipei, but I simply love the idea of creating amazing art pieces from, essentially, trash. And I think Brook is going to have a ball with this as well.
Stuff everywhere.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to the master. This is Liu Dingzhen. Yeah, this is my friend Brook. Mr. Liu is the master of changing all sorts of industrial parts into art pieces.
There's so many things around.
Yeah. So look at this stuff. Like, he's taking horseshoes. As you can see, he uses like steel bits, and he has like large like motorcycle pieces. He'll change that into.
Yeah, I just saw a motorcycle you made into a mosquito.
Yeah, motorcycle.
Very cool.
Yeah. But that's kind of like the style of the people here in Kaohsiung, the artists here. You have all these sources of, materials that you can play with. And so he's making
我要做一只马。
一只马。
对啊。
哦，一个马。Oh, no, that's fitting. He's making a horse with a horseshoe.
Okay.
我刚才回去购买，还没整空哎。
可以啊，可以做啊。
He sort of represents the past and how it's looking towards the future, and I think he has a lot of bold new ideas and using things from the past. He uses steel, he uses shipping containers, he uses things that he finds, things that he can reuse and rebuild into making new works of art.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's great.
Yeah. I love kind of clunky art.
Well, I think it sort of looks like the skeleton of a horse.
Right.
Like, these are the ribs, and looking at it in the eye, it's really imaginative.
And I love that they use really just whatever he finds, whatever gives him inspiration.
Great. I'm gonna give him all the junk that I find and send it on to him.
伊讲伊伫厝里有伊做侪有诶无？伊讲互你看伊当做什么作品，因为刚刚。
进来。
好，咱即摆带伊去看高雄。That's a good one. I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm getting.
It's not every day that you get to play with a welding torch, and it's certainly not every day that you get to take your pet pony for a stroll in a major city. But thanks to the easygoing nature of Taiwan's southernmost city, it seems like even the extraordinary is kind of ordinary here. Mr. Liu and his pet pony take Brook and I, almost rodeo style, on a tour of the city, stopping at one of the key cultural icons of Taiwan's second city.
So this is, I think, the ultimate representation of Kaohsiung. You know how I'm saying it's an industrial city, right? So these are obviously shipping containers. And they chose this spot is if you stand over here, you can see 85楼, the 85 Tower, which is another symbol of Kaohsiung.
高雄这几年当中因为我们的人文的加入，所以我们艺术家在这边发挥得很好。
It appears to me like the government or the city as a whole has really embraced the arts as sort of a way to welcome people.
以前那种你看我的那种好大来款的个性，对不对？那种方式渐渐已经在改变了。像高雄，我们现在的一个都市美学，像我们现在的一个都市做的那么美，围墙打掉了，那个景观进去了，艺术品进去了，你看整个环境呢，让我们觉得高雄人很骄傲，所以觉得高雄就很美，愿意告诉人家说，来玩高雄，玩高雄做水。这件作品那个上面是一个云，是那个回忆式。 然后那个湾拐是高雄市的一个工业都市，这代表一个都市一个运转。所以你现在我们看的这个地方就是一个高雄那个高雄港的一个地形。
So then, where is the Love River?
Love River, 爱河. Here.
爱河在那边。
爱河 is over here.
Right here.
Yeah. So now I'm going to take you to Chiching Island, which is there. So we're going to take a ferry from here over to here. So come on over.
Okay.
And this is where I'm going to take you after. Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Kaohsiung is its proximity to water. From the harbor to the Love River running through the city, and even the outer-lying islands, just a 10-minute ferry ride away. And wherever there is a busy waterway or harbor-y type of place, there are always interesting eats. Brook makes me aware of a piece of conventional wisdom gleaned from his travels, that the portions get bigger as you go further south. But sometimes things can be taken just a little too far.
Oh my God! Wow.
Right.
Wow.
But then you can't let a good thing go to waste, can you? It would be impolite not to give it our best shot. Bon appetit! Though it may seem like a tourist trap, this ferry is actually still used as local transport for all the citizens of the little island of Chiching. It used to be a quiet fishing village, but its proximity to downtown Kaohsiung and its easy access via ferry has made this quite a popular weekend retreat or day trip for people from all over the island. The ferry isn't the only form of transport carried over from the past. The cycle rickshaw is a great way to slowly take in this sleepy fishing island. These tricycles have been Chiching's taxi service for decades, and even today, it's a nice treat from the bustle of city traffic. Plus, after our trying journey all over the major cities of Taiwan, somebody else is finally doing all the work for us. Brook and I just simply have to enjoy the breeze. At the end of this military tunnel, there's even a semi-private beach where you can quite literally watch the world go sailing by.
And you have huge ships coming in from who knows where, maybe Panama or South Africa. I love this city.
If this was a city in the U.S. and you had a beach like this, just so easy to get to, so accessible, there would be so many people out
Yeah,
there.
it'd be packed full of people. Like in Boston where I was in school, it was cold, but you would still have tons of people just lying around sunbathing, especially on a day like this.
Resisted the temptation throughout the entire episode, Brooke and I finally allow ourselves to be swept down Love River. Coming up next. There is one cultural facet even more popular and widespread than music or TV, and that is food. The Taiwanese are very proud of their food. And in Qijing, a tiny island just off the harbor of Kaohsiung City, the locals display a considerable amount of hubris about their fresh seafood. Brooke and I are getting a little sample of the choices here.
Okay, bon appetit.
Thank you.
You know why the Japanese live so long?
Why?
Because they eat fresh seafood every day, and they're out in the sun, fishing and out in nature. I think that's why Kaohsiung people also live very, very happily. Yeah. So try this. This is I call it nungxia or squid. And it's made, I think they deep fry it. Oh, yummy.
No matter what city or even town you visit when you're in Taiwan, there are a few constants. 1, you must never leave hungry. And 2, you should spend at least one night checking out the different nightlife, whether it be clubbing or stargazing. As Brooke and I have experienced together, Taipei has crazy parties, Taichung has the live music scene, and Kaohsiung is lucky to have the romantic Love River cruises. My grandmother would be proud to know that the stinky bayou that used to be near her house is now the pride and joy of her city, the lifeline. The culture, dynamics, personality, and visuals of each city in Taiwan is its character. And with so much variety on offer, it's difficult, if not impossible, for Brooke and I to choose a favorite. How would one choose between fun, innovative, and diverse? Well, that's a choice we're going to leave up to you. So check out Taiwan cities and tell us, if you can, which is your favorite.
So Brooke and I were just discussing, and we've realized that on this trip around Taiwan, we feel like we've been reminded of several cities at home and around the world.
Like Berlin.
There was LA,
New York. Seattle.
Buenos Aires.
Granada, Spain.
Paris, don't forget Paris.
Okay, Pittsburgh.
London, basically a lot of cities around the world. So I think Taiwan pretty much offers something for everyone.
I would say so.
You know what, it makes me so happy. I want to break into song and dance. I'll see you next time. Shall we?
We shall.
Ta-da!
I would encourage my friends to come here because I think that a lot of people have no idea what those cities is really like, and I feel like there is an incredible blend actually of it being an international capital that is friendly to outside visitors, yet it's still, there are certain places where you still see a complete, traditional Taiwanese culture, and places where you can still recognize and know that you're in Taiwan and still learn about what makes Taiwan what it is. There is a magic to being here in Taiwan. I don't think I would find that anywhere else.